Hi, Louis here from Groundstone. Thanks for joining today. Today we're going to be doing a septic system for a 2-bedroom home and with a suite downstairs, so they're able to rent it out, or an in-law suite. And on this particular property, the original septic system, being quite old, has already failed. So we can no longer use that site, and because the site is a little bit small, we're going to have to do a pressurized system. So it's going to be a pressure distribution to a distribution box, and then from there we're going to run some laterals lengthwise in an L shape. So join me and we're going to go through that today. Thank you. So here we have the tankage area. We've got the inlet area here coming into this tank. So from the home, it's running quite deep, so it's running into this particular tank right here, which is a 2-chamber. It's going to hit the end there and then go back into this tank here to add extra volume for that additional suite. So in this particular case, we're well over 1,250 gallons. And then this secondary compartment right here is going to be for the pump, and that's going to pressurize into our field. So basically we're going from the septic tank area. It's going to be dosing to this field here. Here we're creating a seepage bed. Distribution box is going to go right about here, and just forming a sort of an L shape to conform to the property here. Otherwise it's going to be tough to place this drain field. So what we've done now is just basically add a 2-inch blind layer of this clean coarse sand. Gives us a good little transition type of sand to get into our natural soils. So that was our next step. Our next step now is going to be to add some clean aggregates to this, roughly 6 inches. So we're going to build up another layer on top of this 2-inch layer of sand. So now we laid about 6 inches of gravel underneath, and we're just sort of dry fitting everything. So we're making some progress on the seepage bed here. We've got all the stone in place, and we're just laying out all our pipe. We've connected to the distribution box. We're just carrying through to get everything set up. So on the tail end of our seepage bed, we've got sort of this candy cane looking thing. And what this does is just add air into our whole system here. We're going to have this on both ends. So on this side here we have our observation port. So down the road we could always look inside of the top here, because it goes down into our infiltrative surface. So just below this rock is where this pipe is going to be stationed in. And then whenever we need to observe what's going on in the seepage bed here with the rise of the water, in case there's any issues, we just pop this cap off. We look inside and we're able to tell if there's a saturation level or water level inside our seepage bed. So this aeration just adds a little bit more efficiency to our treatment in our seepage bed, because our drain field is essentially an aerobic type of system. So it needs to be within a couple of feet range of the surface. And we might want to make sure that the topsoil is sandy, and this creates a nice aeration inside our drain field, which is going to treat our effluent properly. We're going to do the same thing to that end, and it's all going to get dispersed here from our distribution box. So our next steps now is just to add more aggregates to the top. We want to make sure we get about 2 inches over top of our drain lines there. Once we're accomplished that, we're going to add some fabric to it and then start backfilling all this material. So we're just tying up the electrical to the high water alarm there. We've got our pump already in the water. Our high water alarm float is there. And here's our 2-inch force main leading out into the drain field area. So right now we're just making sure that everything is bedded in sand. this main is going to drive the effluent to the distribution box here. We've got speedy levelers to ensure that the wastewater gets distributed evenly. What we're going to do is just quickly test the distribution box. We plugged in the pump. Want to make sure that everything distributes nicely and evenly. It's looking pretty good. So now we're going to go over to the end of the field where we pop the cap off just to see if we have water flow here. I do hear it.